Hi, I'm Dave Karger. We have more of TCM's Thanksgiving with Carol coming up. This next film, and its parody from The Carol Burnett Show, aired as part of my series with her last December. Hope you enjoy them both. Welcome back, Carol Burnett. So happy to be with you tonight.
Thank you.
We've got another great film to talk about, along with your spoof sketch of it from The Carol Burnett Show. This time it's A Stolen Life from 1946, starring Bette Davis and Glenn Ford, directed by Curtis Bernhardt. I love Bette Davis, and I love this performance, this dual performance by her. Were you always a Bette Davis fan?
Yes, I always was. I got to meet her actually at Roddy McDowell's house.
Oh.
Every Wednesday night, Roddy would have what they call a salon, and he'd have different people come in, and you'd sit around in the living room and have a cocktail, and you'd go in and have dinner, and you'd come back into the living room again, and people would talk and tell stories and all. And Bette Davis was there one night, Ava Gardner, Alec Guinness, Edith Head, and because I was a buddy, he said, any Wednesday you want to come. Just so I didn't take advantage.
Right.
But I always sat in a specific chair next to the fireplace, and the couch was here, and then people were all around and tell stories.
Wow.
And when he passed away, Roddy, he left me that chair. And I have that chair in my office.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you kind of sit more and observe at these salons, or were you active?
I observed more than I contributed,
Right.
but I certainly was a good audience,
Right.
I'll put it that way.
It must have been interesting for you to see then which of these people that you knew and loved were more interested in talking to you, because there must have been a lot of them that were watching your show.
How long does it take you to learn it? On and on and on. But just to hear Edith Head talking about how she would be fitting somebody in the fitting room.
Did you talk to Bette Davis at all?
Oh, yeah. She was very sweet. And she did Mr. Skeffington. There are moments all the way through where she says, I can't see you now. I'm having lunch with Janie Clarkson. And of course, you never see Janie Clarkson. And so Roddy and I had a joke about that. So she signed a picture to me saying, Carol, dear, I have to say, I'm patting myself on the back, but this is what she wrote. Carol, dear, you are permanently terrific. Love, Janie Clarkson.
Wow.
And that's
great.
on my wall.
Oh my God, how wonderful. Well, let's talk about A Stolen Life, because it is remarkable what they were able to accomplish in 1946 with the very convincing special effects, which, by the way, got an Oscar nomination that year for special effects.
So she plays a good twin and an evil twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and each one is totally different. She was a great actress.
Right. Did you find that you really liked these kind of soap opera-ish films when you were a teenager?
Oh, yeah. Way back in the early covered wagon days, I used to call them women's pictures.
Women's pictures.
It's a woman's picture.
Right.
Today, that sounds terrible.
Right. I call them all my favorite movies.
Yeah, right. But that would be what they called a woman's picture. Any of those, tear jerkers.
That's right. And of course, Bette Davis also was a producer on this movie, so she got to choose some of the other people that she was working with, the director, and also Glenn Ford. And I love the two of them together.
They were great.
It makes you understand why both these women want to fall for this guy.
Yeah.
That's great. So was this an easy decision as far as a movie that you were going to do a takeoff of?
Absolutely. And I'll get into the detail about how we did it later.
Okay, great. Well, let's watch the movie and then we'll talk more about it and your spoof afterwards. Okay. From 1946, here is Bette Davis in a terrific dual performance in A Stolen Life. I just love that film. I love Bette Davis doing something with a high difficulty like that. She did it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your version of this, A Swiped Life from 1976. A dual performance by you, actually a triple performance, because you're one twin, you're the other twin, and then you're also one twin pretending to be the other twin. So it's three performances.
Well, that's what she did.
And that's what she did too.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this, before people watch it, is that, of course, you didn't have a special effects budget, so you had to figure out creative ways to
be
play...
a twin without stopping tape. So it'd be funny. I would be Patsy, who was the dull one.
Yep.
I would be walk behind the set or behind a wall or something,
Right.
and then I would change real fast and run around here and come in as the evil one.
Right.
And I would talk to her, and then I would turn around, and my voice would be the other one. So I was having dialogue
With yourself.
And at one point, I remember, didn't I stick my head out or something? And I'm talking. The other one's over there, and
Right.
it was such fun.
Oh,
And we
it's-
did it live. We did not stop.
All right, well, we'll watch the sketch right now, and then I have more questions for you. But right now, from the Carol Burnett Show in 1976, here is Carol playing Patsy and Vera in A Swiped Life. That one is a real favorite of mine, Carol. It's just so fun to watch you do that, particularly when Vera comes in, because that's when you really get to do Betty
Yeah.
to the hilt. Just the way-
Overdone, I must say. Because she did not do. I was breathing funny,
Right.
and I just kept doing it. But she wasn't quite that.
It's always exaggerated, but
Yeah.
always at the line.
Wasn't that what he said? Hey is for horses or something like that.
I love that, and I love the foghorn. How did that come about?
It was just there. It was improvised because the writers said the thing was Patsy, who is the dull one. She loves watching the lighthouse go around, and it talks to me. She says to her aunt, it says, "Hi, Patsy. Hi, Patsy." And I thought, what if I do it like a lighthouse? And I went, it talks to me. It says, "Hi, Patsy. Hi, Patsy. Hi, Patsy." I love it. I just wonderful.
I could not get enough of that, and you could tell the audience couldn't either. I mean, each time it happened, it got such a great
It was fun to do.
laugh. Yeah. When did you start doing these spoofs? I mean, the ones that we're showing are from the later years, like season 7, 8, 9, 10. But you were telling me you did
We
Postman
did.
Always Rings Twice a little bit earlier, and some other ones.
But it wasn't the exact takeoff on the movie. It was a
Right.
sketch about her being married to this old guy, and Steve Lawrence comes in as the John Garfield
Yeah, yeah,
role,
yeah.
and she says, when are we going to kill him? Is that kind of thing. So we did that, but then way early on, we did a whole show on the Dolly Sisters, the entire movie.
The Doily
with
Sisters.
We called it the Doily Sisters. That was in our 5th season, and Vicki and I played the sisters, and Harvey was the John Payne role, and all original music and lyrics by our writers, by our special material writers. And then the first one we did was a takeoff on the backstage vaudevillian family called the Fun Family with Mickey Rooney. He was Papa, I was Mama, Vicky was Sissy, and John Davidson was Sonny. Harvey comes in and says, "I'm looking for a patriotic trio." And then we figure out there are 4 of us. So there's only 3 in a trio, so poor Mickey is out. And it's a whole saga about that family, and
Oh, how fun.
yeah, and he was wonderful.
Did you find that as time went on, these spoof sketches became amongst the more popular ones that the audiences loved?
Yeah. And what's interesting about doing them is that if you don't know the movie, they're funny. But if you do know the movie, they're twice as funny.
That's right.
But they hold up even on their own if you don't know the movie.
It's so true. Later tonight, we'll be bringing you the Doily Sisters from The Carol Burnett Show, along with Betty Grable in 1943's Sweet Rosie O'Grady. But in the meantime, we have more from our Sundays with Carol series from last December. Get ready for Joan Crawford as Mildred Pierce. Stay with us.
Next on TCM, Mildred Pierce. Then, Gone with the Wind. And later, Sweet Rosie O'Grady. We handle with Carol Burnett on TCM today.